Okay, Mark dearest. So I'm going to give you a little video of how to bone out a chicken whole. So here we have a whole chicken. Now we are going to use my knife, but we're not going to use it for much, and I'll show you where. It'll be the odd little cut, mainly through the joints. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of the wings, or at least the majority of them anyway. So look for the joint here. You shouldn't have to cut through any bone at all. You should just go straight through the cartilage, nice and easy. Same on the other side. Look for your joint. Cut straight through. If you feel like you're hitting the bone, give your knife a little wiggle and it should go through without any effort whatsoever. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the wishbone from the back. It's quite easy. Have a little feel. You can feel the little V shape. Cut along one side. Cut along the other side, right the way up to the top. Get your fingers behind it. This particular one is broken. There's one on the other side. And it should just pull out quite easily. If it's struggling, just give a little nick at the top. There we go. Wishbone's out. So the next thing, we're now going to start to look at taking off the bone. Turn it upside down. As you turn it upside down, have a look for the different muscles. So you've got two muscles here, which are the oyster. You want to try and keep that in when we take it off, so be mindful of those. So the first cut we're going to do, straight down the back. Straight until you hit the bone. And the next we're going to do is we're going to look for the wing joint. So if you give it a little wiggle, you can see the joint is about there. Just going to free that off. Again, have a little wiggle, see where it is. There we go. Should dislocate quite easy. I haven't quite got it in the right spot. It's a little bit difficult as I'm trying to show you on the camera, so I'm not doing it in the natural position I would normally do it in. Pretty much. Ah, there we are, I've gone too low, it's actually there. So you can see, that's now free. So your wing's completely free from the carcass. Just get rid of that little bit of knuckle there. Same on the other side. So now we've got to that stage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to literally peel it right the way back along the bone, using my thumb. You'll see it comes off quite easy. You pull it back as far as that oyster there. Same on the other side. Just pull it down, free that off. As far as that oyster. And as we go, now literally pulling down so I can get my fingers on either side of that breastbone. Pull it away. Freeing all the meat off. So. Coming down behind that oyster. Same on the other side, so you're including it. Free it all the way down. And then when we get to the knuckle, or that little joint there where the thigh joins the bone, I'm just going to dislocate it. Keep that oyster in and just cut behind. Same on this other side. Again, it's a little bit rough with this one, but there we go. Behind that, see the oyster there again. Cut just behind it. Keep on working it down. Now pretty much the carcass should just pull out now. Okay, so I'll just tidy this up a little bit. There's two main bits of meat that are left on there. So you got the fillet. Again, you kind of use a knife to take this off. I tend to get started with a knife and then use my finger for the rest. And just pull straight out. We'll use that in a minute. Same with the other side. That we'll use for stock. That we'll use for stock. These ones we can use for stock. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side because I'll use that again in a minute. But now we'll deal with this bit. Okay, so now we're going to look at getting rid of these thighs. So you've got no bones here at all. The only bones that you've got left in there are your legs, your thighs, and also these wing tips here. So we'll tackle the thighs first. So get a hold of the knuckle, and you're literally just going to cut around it to free off that bone. Take your time, do a little scrape. And then you're going to reach the next knuckle, so where the thigh reaches the leg. And then we're going to have to cut around that knuckle too. Again, you can just use your fingers for this. I find it a bit neater if you can scrape it with the back of your knife. We'll get to the knuckle. See, we hit the knuckle there now, so we're just going to cut around that. Until we get to that leg bone. It's quite a big knuckle on this one, actually. It's quite a big bird. So, now you've exposed that bone, you're just going to scrape down, again like you did before, almost like you're turning the leg inside out, right the way down to the foot. Then you're going to peel it back over itself again. So now we've boned out to about that far. Turn it round. And using the back of a heavy knife, oops, I'm just going to chop to break that bone. I'm going to keep that intact. That way that bone will just pull straight out. The stock. Same on the other side. So again, just cut around that knuckle. Scrape. Until you reach the next knuckle. So then we've got to that next knuckle now, so we're just going to cut around it again. Trying to keep all that meat on as much as you can. Try your best not to cut through the knuckle, because if you do, you won't have anything to hold on to. It just gets a bit trickier. Once it's exposed, you can see where you need to cut, so it gets a bit easier. And then again, just start scraping. Get that nice and neat. Turn it back inside out again, back the right way. Make sure that bone's nice and flat on the board. Back of your knife. And you should just have to pull that bone straight out. Alright. So that is your legs boned out, the main cavity boned out. And you've just got the wings on there. What I'm going to do with this, quickly cut around the outside of that knuckle again. Just to free it off. Once it is free, you should pretty much just be able to push straight down. And the bone will come out. You need to get a good grip of it, that's all. I just need to cut that a little bit off. I'll just pull straight out. Same on the other side. So again, find your knuckle, cut around it. Once it's free, again, just got a little bit attached there. Should. There we go, you can feel that freed off then. So you just pull it straight out. Again. So next, so pretty much that's the whole bone, the whole chicken now boned out. Next thing is, I'm just going to try and get an even amount of meat all the way around. So I'm going to place these fillets back in. On either side. Also there's a big gap here as well. So I'm just going to sort of almost butterfly that part of the breast across. Same on the other side. It's pretty much done. So it's just ready for its stuffing now. Okay mate, so all we've got left to do is stuff it. So I've made a stuffing, a little bit of sausage meat, some mushrooms, some pancetta, some garlic, onions and some breadcrumbs. Quite simple, and some spinach as well. Quite a simple stuffing, but bloody tasty. Start off by stuffing those legs, so where the cavities are, round the stuffing right up there, get it nice and full so it holds its shape. Same on this one. I'm not going to make any puns about giving it a good stuffing. It's childish. So once you've got your legs filled, again, I'm just going to put an even coating. You don't really need to go too thick on this actually, because it does go quite a long way. But just kind of an even coating all the way across the breasts. I've seasoned this stuffing quite heavily. If I'd not done, you could season the breasts and things like that before you add the stuffing to it. I think this is a better way. Alright. So, pretty happy with that. Again, I don't want too much because it'll start to ooze out the edges when I try and roll it. Might just put a little bit around where the legs are just to hold that shape a bit. Alright. Give it a little pat, make sure it's nice and even everywhere. Happy days. Right. So I'm just going to take my gloves off, so I don't want to get the stuffing on the outside of the bird. And what we're going to do is fold it over one way, fold it over the other way, cross its legs over, carefully fold it, give it a little neaten up, and there it's ready to be tied. Happy days. Alright mate, and then just tying it is as simple as getting the legs, tying them together. Don't go too tight because you'll end up strangling it and all the mix will start to come out of it. It'll go a weird shape. Literally just enough to hold it together. Then make a loop. Actually, tell you what, I'll go under first. Then I'll do a little loop. We're gonna, Rachel, could you get off my string? Thank you very much. Probably gone a little bit long with our string. Rachel's treading on it. So again, not too tight. And just repeat the process all the way along. So you're only doing it just tight enough to hold it together. The chances are when the sausage meat cooks, it'll expand anyway. Do maybe 2 more. Bit of a neaten up, carefully turn it over, and then on this side you're going to do exactly the same as you've done the other. So just loop it round, again just to hold it all in place. Neaten up some of that skin as you go, so it gets nice and crispy. Nobody likes a flabby bit of skin. Roll it back around, join your 2 ends together, helps if I could tie a knot. There you go, ready for the oven.